Namaste. Welcome back to Waking Up with Mindful Serenity Yoga. So I'm going to reach into the jar and pull out another concept related probably to spirituality, but I want to remind you again that spirituality is just a concept itself. What it points to is really something that's inexplicable and at least in a way that would make sense to our limited minds. Anyway, I am reaching into the jar before I go off again. I tend to be taking up way more time than I want. The jar's over here. Lately, I try to answer these concepts or speak on these concepts for 4 minutes. Okay, it's kind of ironic. Take a deep breath, and I'm going to exhale. Now, the concept I pulled out is kind of ironic because I just mentioned to you before I pulled it out that spirituality itself is just a concept. So the word I pulled out was spiritual. So spiritual is a concept. It's a thought stream. It's a way of representing a certain reality in a limited symbol, which is a thought, a bunch of words put together, right? So our language is definitely very limiting, as wonderful as it is. I love language. As wonderful as it is limiting in its ability to explain the reality of something. In other words, to truly understand something, we have to experience it fully. We have to realize it, and realizing is to be fully aware. To be fully aware, we need to be that thing, right? It's the feeling sensations, a felt experience, I think I heard someone once refer to it as. So when I say spiritual, what does it mean to be spiritual? Again, it's word pointing to the word itself means of spirit. What does it mean to be of spirit? Well, regardless if you can put that into a word and have me explain it or not, it's not going to change the fact that you are of spirit. We are all of spirit. We are all, and spirit itself is just a word. What's a spirit? What's a spirit? Well, it's an invisible entity, is it not? That's all a spirit is. So it's a formlessness that exists within the form of the body and the mind and the personality as we've come to know it to be our reality, which it isn't. So spiritual, to be of spirit, means to be of this formlessness and to recognize and realize that is who we are by feeling it through the felt experience of being spiritual. So wow, that's a big long spiel, isn't it, to simply say that this concept is very limited because many people will look at spiritual and have a different connotation associated with it. You may be spiritual, for example, if you go to church and you're religious. You adhere to the religious doctrine and of the religion that you're a part of. You may be spiritual if you are of indigenous population and culture and you worship the land in that way. You may be considered spiritual. You may be spiritual if you believe in ghosts, or you think you hear ghosts, or you think you're a medium or a psychic who can talk to ghosts. You may think you're spiritual if, anything like that. So it's really a hard word to wrap our minds around. It's a concept, like all concepts, it's just a thought, and it points to something. So what is this pointer, spiritual, pointing to? It's pointing to the formlessness of who we are. And so when I say the word spirit to you, you may think of ghost. You may think of this woo-woo-ness. You may think of a shaman, smoking what are they doing? Not smoking, drinking a little bit of ayahuasca on Machu Picchu. You may think of that which arises out of us when we die. But spirit is simply formlessness, the formless essence of who we are. We just can't see it. Does it make it not real? Does it make it non-scientific? No, because scientists is now pointing to the Higgs field, the quantum fields where there is nothing but formlessness from which the leptons and quarks and the bosons arise to form particle matter. But prior to particle matter, there is nothing. It's just spaciousness and formlessness. in order to create form. So when I say a person is spiritual, I think of it in terms of a person who is ready to look beyond the obvious, the thing that we become identified as, the body, the mind, the personality, and to see what is there and see that connection, that same thing in everyone and everything on this planet, because it's all energy vibrating, right? Prior to particle matter formation. And it's just a matter of exploring that possibility. So a spiritual person is ready to look inside and explore the possibility of the formless within themselves. And I went over my time again, but thank you so much. I hope that makes sense. Namaste.